Previously, we talked about what we think is necessary for our students, but what about the information that they already know? Normally, our students are not empty boxes to be filled with tons of information. Consequently, it is important to consider their previous knowledge. There are some strategies you can consider in this specific point. This is called activation of prior knowledge, or APK. There are some advantages for both the professors and the students when these strategies are used. First, students get ready for the new material since they know where to store it in their minds. Also, they get engaged with the topic and normally they get curious about the content of the course or the topic. Finally, professors are aware of the concepts which are necessary for the students to have a clear comprehension of the learning outcome. How can we activate our students' previous knowledge? There are different ways in which we can do that. The first one is kwlh. This is an acronym for what I know, what I want to learn, what I learn, and how I learn it. As you can see, it's a table in which students need to complete the columns accordingly. This instrument helps the students to make connections and generate questions to establish a purpose for learning. This instrument is used in two different moments. KW before starting the topic, LH when the topic is finished. At the end of the unit, it is important to have our students to complete the LH section to verify their understanding of the topic and to show them the importance of doing this activity. Don't forget to verify if your students have answered the questions stated in the W column and make them curious about the connections between what they already knew and the new information. The second strategy is called BDA, before, during, and after. This instrument is used for students who are asked to read a text which is relevant for the purpose of the class. This activity consists on asking students to focus on the titles and subtitles of the topic, and then generate a series of questions that can be either answered by themselves as they read the topic or by the professor as the topic is developed. The main objective of this activity is to encourage students' curiosity and critical reading. The main advantage of this strategy is to let students to have an important role in the classroom since they want their questions to be answered instead of being the ones to answer the questions. Also, it promotes the interaction with other students trying to find answers to their questions. Sometimes their questions can be answered by their peers and enriched by the professor. The following one, which is my favorite, is anticipation guides. This strategy has the advantage of opening students' minds to misconceptions or misunderstandings of a topic. This is because the professor needs to write statements related to the topic, which are normally common conceptions or misconceptions of this topic. Then, this anticipation guide, which is divided into two parts, before and after, is presented to the students. In the before area, students decide whether the statement is true or false, or if they agree or disagree with the idea. After reviewing the material, the students need to mark the correct information and observe if their ideas were correct or not. Normally, this strategy allows students to express their ideas without being judged by others. Don't forget to verify the students' answers when you have finished presenting the topic and provide your students to have a discussion based on the ideas presented in the anticipation guide. You may be surprised by their performance. The last and most common strategy is brainstorming. This is the easiest way to elicit students' participation. There are different ways to approach this strategy. The first one is by asking students to speak a word related to the topic and write it on the board. Another one is to address a question which elicits students to come to the board and write an idea related to the main topic. Most of the time, both strategies work very well. However, shy students may feel this strategy stressful. In this case, the strategy can be modified by using a brainstorming alphabet. This variation works by asking the students to work individually or in small groups to fill in the table with words, concepts, or ideas which start with the letter that corresponds. It is important to mention that it is okay if students don't fill any of the boxes. At the end, the students are asked to share their ideas.